Well, hello, everybody. We're
Hello.
live.
Hi. Where is your lovely face, Randy? I see your Google Plus picture, but not your actual
Wait.
face.
You can't see my face.
I need to go get dressed.
There you are.
Thank you. There we go.
Well, that's strange.
Well, it's working fine now, right? Everybody, is it working fine?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Can't have a first show without some technical difficulties, right?
exactly. Speaking of technical difficulties, look at this. This is ridiculous. Should be down here. See, Jonathan's got it right. Why can't mine work?
I always get it right.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Where's mine?
Lovely viewers who know me from my previous endeavors know that I am never wrong.
Ever.
Except all of your predictions.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Sick burn.
Ooh.
A sick burn.
Cold-blooded Jared is cold.
It's true.
I could be colder.
We are here for some fun nerdiness tonight, but we're waiting for one more guy who's supposed to show up.
Ooh, I think
What?
I think he decided he's too good for us.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it was. That jerk. What's his name? I don't even remember.
I don't either. It's not like I hung out with him in LA at all.
No, not at all.
Nope.
Although he's just seen the message that we're waiting for him.
Yeah, well, let him scurry in then.
I'm gonna try and make him. Otherwise, he will be dead to me. He'll be dead to me, pirate man. I can call him that. It fits.
Oh goodness. I'm just happy to be back.
Me too. Oh, here he is.
It's Chris!
Hey.
Whoa.
Hi Chris!
In the dark.
Yeah, I need to move to a more stable location. If you guys give me
Yeah.
just a moment.
We learned that Chris is like recording from a boat on the ocean.
Yes, I am.
It's just like it's rocking back and forth.
Live
Maybe.
from international waters.
We're gonna have cockfights, and we're gonna have animal cruelty galore. So
Oh my god.
ASPCA can't touch us.
No.
This is way better than the last show we were on.
Oh my god.
There's animal cruelty. I
Yo,
don't
we
mean
we
that.
stepped it up.
Out of this.
We
I'll
leveled
fight
up the
I'll fight
podcast.
for the animals. I'm a Pokemon master.
There you
go.
Get your
You
business
you are
card.
familiar.
God.
You know what? I should have a business card at this point. I
Well,
should be on Nintendo's payroll.
Well, I was gonna say no. The Google Maps
Wow.
Pokemon Master thing. Like, if you found all of them, then you got like a business card or something sent to you from Google that says like your name and then title
Wow.
Pokemon Master.
No,
That
no,
would be
sir. I
awesome.
do not have that privilege.
Oh man.
I heard the people who platinumed like Killzone 2 got a special deal in the mail from Gorilla. Because
Uh-huh.
so few people platinum that game that they went ahead and they actually sent stuff out to people as a way to be cool. They were cool guys.
I've just got a face full of beard, and I'm enjoying the piratiness.
Yes.
Guys, I
Yes.
found a photo.
No, can't handle it all.
It's too much for you.
Wow. I
I,
found a
Chris, I missed you.
now you guys, you might be used to his beard, but did you know that I used to have a beard?
Was it an epic beard?
It was pretty epic. I saw a picture of it tonight. It's been 5 years, but wow, like really crazy.
Before I worked for Publix 5+ years ago, I had my ears pierced.
What?
John.
It's true.
Please tell me you wore giant like gold hoops.
Wait, I only have the one ear pierced.
So it's
Pardon
just
me.
one giant gold hoop.
Yes,
Wow.
one giant gold hoop
And-
with a skull hanging off of it. Don't,
That's like
Jared, you're supposed to have Facebook stalked me enough to see these pictures.
Well, I mean, I've seen you in like leather jackets, and I think I saw that you had something. I don't know. You were like,
You
were
gotta
carrying- you were
you gotta
packing.
be more observant.
I mean, I counted. I recounted.
Randy, is anyone even watching this?
Yeah, we've got some people. Actually, we've got the first few comments. First off, coming from Andrew Rudder saying, "You guys are dorks," which is great because that's what we're here to do.
That is precisely what we're here to do, sir.
Next from Deco Brill, I think.
Yes.
Would you consider the ribbing Jonathan's getting animal cruelty? And yeah, you're part of the cockfight, Jonathan. You're officially signed in.
This is the effect I have on the chemistry here. I bring up animal cruelty all the time.
So Jonathan's having a breakdown. Let's.
It's true. It's
That's
not
a
even
DDR song. Breakdown.
Really, I've been listening. Before we started the show, I was listening to Saturday Night Love by, I think, Soca is what it is. It's from DDR, I think. So.
Saturday Night Love. I know that there's a song called Summer Love. You're my summer love.
You need to keep going because you made the trailer for this. Singing
we need more Jared. We do.
We need more singing.
More singing.
Guys, it's been like a while since I've sang that. I can't remember it. You know, gotta give credit.
Excuses.
Dude, come on, Rent. Do some Rent.
This is my summer love. Something about feelings. Do boy. Yeah. That's
So-
the Speedy version remix.
We've got our next comment from Patrick Frazier. Yo, Pat, nice to see you here. I want to see Jonathan with huge gauges and tribal tats. Jonathan?
Wow.
He'll be
No,
getting a
it's
tattoo.
Gents, here. Have some tattoos. Can you see them?
Wow. We're breaking barriers here. We're
Whoa.
showing skin on this.
Can you see them though? Like I can't tell.
Do not suffocate yourself.
If you're just tuning in, ladies and gentlemen.
Put your clothes on.
Dude wanted to see my tribal tattoos. I don't know if they were visible or not, but I've got a red phoenix on this shoulder and a blue phoenix on this one. Unless I've
Wow.
got my directions mixed up.
That's okay. I saw ink and skin.
It's true. We're short skin on this podcast.
You already made it on Inked and Sexy.
We had close-ups on facial hair so far. We also had bare backs. Can I
Listen.
say that? I can say that.
For those of you listening, or for those of you who did listen to our previous gig, the Downpour Podcast, prior to tuning into this show, this is not the Downpour Podcast.
It's going to be a very different show.
It's a whole new world.
A new fantastic point of view.
I can't even.
Maybe a musical for you and me. It's okay. I have to go pee.
Yeah, let's. I've got a couple.
Let's start the damn show.
Let's start.
We've already made good on our promise of a musical.
It's true.
We really have.
We've covered that, so we're set for the night, unless there's more that comes. Quick couple of things here. Deco asking, what's causing Jonathan and Randy's low-res non-16:9 picture? I don't know. I struggled to figure that out, and that's why we started like 2 minutes later than we had planned. So, technical difficulties. Sorry. And then...
well, Jonathan says HD.
You deserve to see me in full 1080p glory. Come on.
I don't
if
think...
Mario Kart can be next gen, so can I.
This is obviously not PlayStation 4. This is the Xbox One.
Oh!
Yes. Fewer P's, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. Oh boy.
Can we start
Okay.
the damn show?
Yes, we are going to start. Okay, so guys, we're here. The outline called the show tentative title, but if any of you have been reading things here, and then of course the name of the thing was called Derpy Gamers, here's Derpy moment number 1, is I just came up with the name on a whim and didn't Google search and find out that that is actually a thing. So, it's...
What we chose?
No, the thing that I just, when I started the show, and I was like, let's call it this. We'll just say that it was a descriptive way of saying what we are instead of the title. We have been working on getting a title put together, and in minutes before the show was done, we did the voting and final rankings, and we've come up with something. So as you can see here, we are called backwards compatible.
Huzzah!
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if that means hardware backwards compatible or there's some sort of virtual console going on.
It's
But-
because I'm stuck in the past.
I'm wired. My brain's wired backwards compatible.
That's good, I think, because we can remember where we've come from and all the other fun stuff.
See?
Oh, okay, this explains it. Andrew Rudder says, apparently Derpy is also a My Little Pony. So I just thought it was a word that the internet had fashioned. Turned out it's just an obsession with multicolored horses.
A multicolored horse. I am not.
It's true. He's just a guy with weird tattoos on his back, and that will show gladly to the internet. But anyway, wanted to say greetings and welcome to the very first episode of Backwards Compatible. A show. It's what we're doing. For now, we're a group of 4 peeps with a passion for nerdy things like video games, comics, anime, the whole works. You can read it here, but my name is Randy Thompson, and I like to think I'm the bacon of this show, and I'll let you kind of figure out what that means.
Really the tone.
Wait, that's what he said originally, and I thought we were going with the boy band thing, so I called myself Jonathan Higgins, which, by the way, I am Jonathan Higgins, and I'm the guy who gets to break stuff at the end of the show. But if Randy's the bacon... Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jonathan Higgins, and I am the eggs.
I was going to say, please don't say like sausage.
What? This is a breakfast-themed show now? Holy crap.
It wasn't breakfast themed. Bacon can go on anything. Who else do we have here?
We're not
in the
backwards
show?
compatible, we're breakfast creations.
We're breakfast compatible.
The dinner club. Wow.
Lord. Sponsored by Betty Crocker. Anyone?
Mhm. So who else is here? We got
I'm not third.
Oh, let Jared go first.
Okay.
Before me.
Okay. My name's Jared, and you can call me J-Rad, or if you must, you can call me Jerry. Here's
Like
what's
the
up.
mouse?
Here's what's up. If you guys are such wonderful breakfast foods, I want to be the maple syrup to make you all hot and sticky.
Ooh, wow.
So
Wow.
I'm maple syrup, the real Vermont
Yeah,
stuff.
dude,
There
it's a
you
little
go.
hot. It's a little hot in here. Woo.
I know.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Number 4.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Christopher Garcia, better known to the internet as Wildcard Corsair. Oh yeah.
Luscious hair.
Oh,
And what breakfast food would you be?
I actually don't like breakfast, so
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last episode of Backwards Compatible. We are throwing a member away.
Stop recording. We're gonna
oh
We're
no.
done.
Yeah, I'm done. I quit.
Chris, our friendship is through.
Oh.
But if you had to eat like something breakfast for dinner or something, what would you choose?
Can I throw some Reese's peanut butter puffs on there?
Yes.
Yes,
Like
Sure.
my
yeah.
favorite cereal.
Okay.
I will accept that and applaud.
I mean, that's good for you.
Before we move on
It's
to
like
other
candy
stuff.
for breakfast.
Yeah, exactly. Before we move on to other stuff, I'm going to hit some things here that got me a little excited. First, we have Gabriela Torres Maldonado. Sorry, I'm bad with names. Says, hi, Jared. Less than
Maldonado.
3.
Wait.
She says, hi, Jared, less than 3. So I don't know if that's a thing. I think it's a heart. I knew that. And
Oh my god!
Jared,
That just became a great meme because know what you could do? You could basically take. We could take all of these wonderful emoticons from now on and read them out.
see, that's what I say. I tell people I less than 3.
Colon, close
Hi,
parentheses.
Gabriella. How are you? Less than 3.
Number 2, we have Andrew Allenson from yeah, we've got
Y2K for life!
Y2K from Axe
Wow.
Studios says, I like Jonathan's shirt. It's mega awesome, and that is my question. So thanks.
What about my shirt?
Yours is not good enough, Mr. Maple Syrup.
Ooh, what is that like?
Speaking of breakfast, we've got Pat who says, I would be Cinnamon Toast Crunch because parents can't see why kids love. I have to finish this because parents can't see why kids love me, and that's really
Oh my
disturbing.
goodness. That took a
God,
dark
you have
turn.
cinnamon sugar swirls in every bite.
Oh my goodness.
That got dark.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyway, we're very excited to have all of you here. Even
really
Pat,
are.
who's really creepy today. We're really happy to have you joining us, and a huge shout out to the faithful followers from our previous gig, the Downpour Podcast. We're happy to be back in the saddle. If you're not one of the lucky ones to join us for this live show, because you can watch this later, or it'll also be later available on iTunes and all the other fun stuff, we're getting our video podcast on today at, it's 9:18 now, but we started at 9 p.m. Central Time on June 18th, 2014. And Jonathan, I'm doing Central Time because I wrote the outline. Forget you guys and your Eastern Time Zone.
Listen,
No one goes by Central Time. Okay, no one.
Yeah.
Let's get that straight.
Getting real up in here.
Yeah, General Leo
we're being
agrees.
alienated right from the start. General Leo does agree.
Central Time does not exist. General Leo agrees.
Jeez. Well, fine. So get the heat off of me. I'm going to throw it back to some of the awesome people that are watching us that I love to hear from. Raymond Dwyer asks, does Chris use a shampoo product he would recommend? This isn't really video game or other nerdy things related, but we're all curious.
I'm glad that made an impression.
Oh my God.
You know, I'm lazy. I use whatever my wife puts in the shower. I don't even know. I really
You don't even know? What color is the bottle? Can you tell us a color?
It's black. It's black right now. I think it's Tresemme.
Right
Ooh.
now?
I think it's Tresemme.
Is
Yeah.
Tresemme the one with like the ooh la la?
Yes.
Yes.
Chris Luala Garcia.
Yes.
Don't ask how I know such things.
See, while we had Raymond who praised Chris's hair, we have Andrew Allenson who says beards are so over. So
That's why I shaved mine 5
Listen,
years ago.
Listen, this is a clean-shaven face, almost.
well, Andrew, I'm sorry, but we've got 2 beards and 2 non-beards, so it's equal now. It's a
Who are the
majority.
ones that Andrew has actually met in person? I rest
What
my
did you say about beards?
At least I can hear you now.
Our
Lord.
other watcher, Andrew Rudder, says, I would be black coffee because I'm really bitter in the morning and people want me to change to please them.
What?
Wow, our
Oh.
listeners are hilarious.
Yeah, this is true. Why are we even running a show? Listeners, you just take it over. I'll just read what you write.
Where are the comments? Is the cloud?
You've got to click the Q&A thing on the left side of your little
This
hangout
is
thing,
beautiful.
Jared.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah. See?
Oh, nice.
We've got so
Alright.
much stuff.
Dudes, this is our first ever show, and it's not on the outline, but beyond breakfast foods and stuff like that, for the people who aren't here from the Downpour podcasts and stuff like that, why don't we tell people who we are?
Yeah, sure, that works for me.
Randy, get things
What?
started.
Exactly. So I'm Randy, and I play things and watch things. I don't know. Like right now, I just my only real gig is my job, which is like graphic design and stuff, or like a catnip toy company. So that sounds exciting, right?
But you also draw things, do you?
Yes.
I do draw things, and I have a portfolio website that I have not paid the server space yet for again this year. But yeah, so I draw things. I don't know. I've got a sketchbook here. I could probably find something non-pornographic pretty quick. But
Oh my God.
we'll skip out on that. Oh yeah, I like
already
Sailor
had a naked
Moon,
dude on the
so
show.
drew Sailor Moon stuff. So deal with that.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so that's kind of what I do, and I like video games. I used to be on a podcast about video games and anime, but that's about that. And let's move on to Jonathan. Jonathan, who are you even anyway?
Who am I? I am a cashier by day and a starved and tortured writer by night. I
Aw.
spent the last 2 years of my life working for Operation Rainfall. We have since gone our separate ways, and I am looking for the next place to call my home. But until then, I've made a Tumblr page, and I'm going to put everything I would have put on Operation Rainfall there, because that's what I'm doing with my life right now.
You are now a
Until
Tumblr man.
somewhere takes me, I will get up close and personal with the camera and be like, please hire me!
and I will swiftly kick him off the show before he is a sobbing. Jared.
Where's the raid After Effects in Google Hangouts?
I don't think they have that yet, but someday soon. Jared,
Wow.
who are you? Who are you really?
Well, it all started with a sperm and an egg, and then
Whoa.
That's very good.
24 years later, I find myself sitting here. I was on a podcast called the Downpour Podcast.
Whoa, is that where I know you from?
Yeah, that's where. Yes.
Got
It's
it.
not like we
Your
had
amnesia. You are recovering from your amnesia. I was on that for like 47, 8 episodes or something. What else? I left Operation Rainfall back in April or something. Yeah, back in April to join Gobayano, which within the next couple of months will become one of the biggest anime-related things on the interwebs ever.
Jared is an anime nerd. For reals.
I'm a features writer with Gobayano, and I've been preparing content for a while now, exploring new types of content and editorial media. And I'm really excited to share that stuff, but I can't talk about it just yet. My daytime job, and sometimes into the evening, is I work at the Land of the Best Buy, which is basically selling mobile phones and helping the masses understand what technology is.
Fun.
So that's it. That's kind of all I got.
That leaves Chris.
That was deep, man.
I could keep going for like an hour, but it's your turn.
We could all keep going
Not
for
to
an hour.
mention- Not to mention, I had no idea that we were going to like get into like philosophical aspects. I'm not prepared for that, man.
Well, you know
Not
what?
prepared for that.
Sometimes
You
being
have
put
to
on the
be
spot
prepared for everything.
is the best way to go.
Well, let's see. Who is Wildcard? I write for 8bitfix.com and GamePodunk.com. I mainly do reviews, but every once in a while I'll do an editorial or two. I guess my day job would be data entry. Not the most exciting thing in the world, but what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And
Insert data is what you're going to do.
you're going to enter data. I help people buy houses.
Ooh,
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
All right.
I'm
I
easy,
think
I'm
that
good.
takes care of it.
That does. You know what? We have an outline, and there's things like news and stuff that we could talk about. But I'm just really very appreciative that people are taking the time to watch a bunch of goofy
No,
dudes like us. So I'm sorry. I'm going to keep derailing this to questions and things because I want to show
Go for it.
appreciation for the people that are watching this and
Absolutely.
do some interaction. It's good times. So we have Gabriella who asks, "What's your favorite Pokemon generation and why?" So I'll start us off by being the worst and say Gen 1 because I've only played Gen 1 and 2.
Oh, you're so OG.
I know. I want
Jared
to play
goes
X and
next?
Y. But
Yep, Jared goes next. 3, 2, 1. I'm with Randy on this boat because I have only played Gen 1 and Gen 2. Gen 2 is Silver, right?
Gold and Silver, yep.
Yes.
And
So I played Gen
Yeah.
1, played Gen 2. That's about it. I played the Pokemon Stadium, the Pokemon Snap.
snap.
What else? Yeah, that's about it. I saw the movie in theaters. You guys probably did too.
Yeah.
Anyways, Charizard, Alakazam. That's where it's at. Okay.
Chris.
Well, because this is such an amazing question, for story, I like to go Gen 5.
Ooh, look at him.
But for Pokemon, I think I have to go Gen 4 because of this brilliant lad right here.
What is that?
Favorite, Drifblim.
That is a Drifblim.
That is a
That is a
Drifblim.
ghost flying type.
He steals the souls of children. Okay, hardcore.
Whoa.
Drop
No,
the mic.
Can I?
Boom.
Did you-
can-
Did you see that today? Like Nintendo posted that the Nintendo World Twitter account posted that they got new Pokemon plushies in.
Dude,
Just a heads up.
I want to go there and get more Pokemon plushies because all
Can
I
you-
have right now is my Dratini plush from KFC.
Can you please come up to New York because I'll meet you there. Okay, that's all I got.
Sure, Jared. I'll bring Kara with me.
So, John,
Okay.
that leaves you. Favorite gen and why?
Ladies and gentlemen, I am probably the Pokemon guy of this here podcast, even against Chris. I have captured all 718 of the little bastards and filled my PC boxes with every single one of them, so I have every single species categorized like a dweeb. If you have any and all Pokemon-related questions or inquiries, send your hate mail to jwh06@my.fsu.edu.
No,
Jay Higgins.
you sent it to J. Higgins
Oh,
at rainfall.com. Sorry, inside joke if you watched our
Inside
last show. That was, Greninja.
It's
Yeah,
true.
So-
Ninja.
My favorite gen, I am gonna have to go with 6 because of how many leaps and bounds that 6 has over the others. If I weren't so unbelievably biased against the games I am currently still playing through for over 200 hours, I'm gonna have to go with 2 because Heart Gold and Soul Silver gave me a whole new respect for the Johto region. So there you go.
Awesome. Oh, Pokemon. I really need to play more of you, especially X and Y. I'm just the worst person ever.
Oh, guys, I introduced Pokemon to my, I think he's 7, maybe he's 8 now. I don't know. My cousin Matthew. I've never seen Silver in action. I gave him Silver and he went to town and he didn't understand, but he chose the water type Pokemon you get.
Totodile.
not Cyndaquil. And he renamed it. No, I think he chose the grass type because it's a girl, right? Chikorita.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
He renamed Chikorita as, you know what? Oh, he named Chikorita Sponge, probably after SpongeBob. And
Nice.
he didn't understand what was going on, and he left the building, and he quit. Basically because I don't think his reading level fully understands it yet. Like, he could read, but he doesn't understand like the linear progression of Pokemon just yet. He's really good at like Mario Kart and Mario, but games with linear progression, I'm working on it. I worked with him when he was like 4 on Mario Kart, and now he's beasted that. So it's a slow
Oh,
progress.
we'll talk some Mario Kart in this here show. Yes, we will.
Oh yeah.
Oh, show. So, we've got Pat asking, John, where is this Tumblr of yours?
Oh, God, do I remember? Give me.
Is art.
No. I switched it up, Chris.
It is. No, it's sacrifices art.
RadicalDefects.tumblr.com.
No.
Got that?
Okay.
That is all one word.
Radical Defect.
I have not written anything yet. My girlfriend just put it together for me because she's the Tumblr expert. I
Aw.
will begin to write things.
Nice. Got one here that says, Randy, it's pronounced Gabriella, so I apologize. I was going like full on Gabriel and then just adding an la.
Yeah, I was gonna say something. I
Gabriella.
was like,
Yeah. Or I can call her Gabby, so that makes it easier. Speaking of which, Gabriella says, OMG, Sailor Moon, exclamation point, less than 3333333, colon, capital D. So, that's really cool. And then we have, oh my god, Lucas Mathis, one of the fellas that I went to my first college with here watching the show, saying, I see you,
Hello,
L.
Lucas.
He says, I see you, L. I know who you are, because we went to an
What?
anime convention together, and I cosplayed as L from Death Note.
you
So-
did?
I sure did, and there are pictures.
Is there a photo of this?
There are pictures, and I will show you later, Jared. And let us never speak of this again.
Pixar didn't
Show
have
them live on the show. If I can show my bare back to this damn podcast, you can show your cosplay. Come on. For the
And
listeners, Randy. For the listeners.
for the listeners, speaking of listeners, Andrew Allenson says this is a sexy podcast. Makes the listeners even more wet than that downpour crap. And then he also
Or going
says
on somewhere.
semicolon right parenthesis. So I expect
You know,
that-
the only episodes of the Downpour podcast worth listening to are the E323 2013 recap. So
Especially day 4.
yeah, day 4. That's like where is at. I
Ugh.
mean, when we need to have Randy like record like an actual intro for a show, that's something else. Speaking of intros, eventually this show is actually going to have an intro. My good friend and my one and only bro, Evan Tolbert, is working on a jingle for us. It is about 12 seconds long. He is crafting it right now in some 3DS app, or it's a music maker within some game, and I forget what it is, but he's made some decent stuff in the past, and I asked him specifically today to record or make something for us, and he is in the process of doing that. I heard it through my phone. I could barely understand it, but he has to basically hook it up to something so he can record it from the 3DS, and so then it will play in stereo. So eventually we'll have that playing.
Because
and it's
when you
chiptune.
want to make music, you use the only means that you have.
No, man, he has like guitars. He's actually in a band. He has guitars and access to mics and some really great stuff. But I asked him real quick to make chiptunes, so he went to his chiptune device of choice, I guess you could say.
Oh,
And,
okay. Interesting to hear it.
Yeah, it's from what I can remember, it's pretty like hip.
Nice.
It's like anyways, we're done. Okay.
Yeah. And then Andrew Rutter says, having played all the Pokemon games, Gen 1 Remake is a personal favorite, but I think X and Y is the best game. So, pretty good.
That's right.
So let's. I'm gonna jump back into the outline here real quick. Let's talk a little bit of news, because obviously it's always fun to talk about current happenings and things that we dig. And if you're here listening to us, hopefully you like the same things we do. So we're gonna bring up a couple of things, just have a quick discussion about it. I think that sounds fun, right, guys? Right?
Right.
Maybe.
Sweet.
Yes.
So one thing I wanted to talk about is some pretty big news going on gaming-wise, and that is Capcom, apparently their shareholders, no longer opposed to a buyout. So what does this mean? How do we feel about it? Do we have any hopes or arousing fantasies that could be about what this whole thing will be? So apparently what it means is that should somebody make a bid for Capcom, apparently, they would be okay with that. So it could be bought out, and how do we feel about it? Oh, man, you don't know the elation I felt when I read that news.
Is that
See?
the Mega Man thing from the Smash event?
Yeah.
Somebody made it into the Smash Invitational, and that was
Yeah,
Mr.
I
Wildcard.
grabbed
You went to that?
Yeah, well, my friend grabbed it from me. Like, this Pikachu.
But did
I had
you
it on Mega Man just to have it on Mega Man, but
That's so awesome.
That's whoa! You just you just stopped the show for a
Jared.
second.
Why wouldn't he have made it into that? He made it into everything damn
Look,
else. We'll
look,
get into the E3 conversation later, but this man
I
has
did
more
not-
luck than me on my best day.
You know what? There was a lot going on during E3, and I may not have followed every single thing that Mr. Chris basically did. Okay, but that just made me really happy because I love Smash. All right, sorry.
Okay,
Capcom.
so Capcom, yeah, I'm super excited because somebody could buy them out, and I know it's probably not going to be anything that's going to happen immediately. It's not like they're in super hot water, but you know, I mean, they just have didn't Monster Hunter 4 come out in Japan already? So I'm sure that's making them some bank. But I would be really excited if certain Nintendo company bought them. Maybe just like
okay.
you know.
Okay.
Okay.
Randy,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Tell me about this. Break it down.
let me break it down for you.
Okay.
Capcom has historically had a very good relationship with Nintendo,
Mhm.
including the Monster Hunter exclusivity recently with Monster Hunter Tri, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate.
Let's not
But on top
forget.
of that, remember,
Oh.
the GameCube era, we
Mhm.
had Resident Evil 4, we
That's
had
true.
Beautiful Joe,
Ooh.
all timed exclusives for the GameCube.
True. We also had them work with Nintendo to make Zelda games. For,
Zelda game.
Mm-hmm.
There's
so
also
nice.
the Resident Evil remake for GameCube, which was amazing.
Oh yeah. And tons of stuff. I mean, there's no
So
reason.
Clearly, we know where you and where Randy and Chris lie. What about you,
True.
Jared?
Yeah, Jared. What are your thoughts on this?
Jared says, "I don't play Capcom games. Fuck that."
No, I don't I don't. Yeah, the only company I care about is like Square Enix. But what they do Street Fighter?
Yep.
Okay, so I have Super Street Fighter 4. I ran a tournament once for that in college. That was interesting. Although I don't play that. Capcom. What else did they do?
Let's see, Mega Man, Okami, Beautiful
Okay.
Joe, Resident Evil, Power Stone.
Power Stone. Wow.
I own more
So
Capcom
one
games
game.
than I've played.
Power Stone.
So Okami. Okay, so I played Okami. You know what? I don't really
Ace
care.
Attorney.
But you know what?
Ace
I
Attorney.
own one of those. You know what? I don't whatever. But I think it would make sense if Nintendo did it, because then they could take Mega Man and like bring it back, and everyone would be like, "Oh my God, Nintendo 2015!" Blah, 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 blah. Like people would be really excited. They would revive this character that apparently needs to be revived and stuff.
As Chris holds up his Mega Man.
I don't need to explain to you. I think everyone knows Nintendo's done more for Mega Man than Capcom has in a while.
It's true.
Right.
John.
I can't really deny that. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what happens, as long as we get some more Little Nemo. I want Little Nemo back in my life.
Oh my goodness! You
Wow.
just brought up the nostalgia.
Ooh.
Holy crap!
Wow.
This guy,
man.
this guy right here.
Hey,
Ooh.
Darkstalkers for Wii U.
It's
Let's
true.
make it happen.
Project
Yes.
Justice, which was another fighting thing like back in the Dreamcast days. So basically, it's Nintendo for me. Chris says Nintendo. Jared doesn't really play Capcom games, and Jonathan just wants more games.
Yes.
I say Nintendo should take definitely like I don't know.
Good. Wow, that is some luscious hair blowing over there, Fabio.
That's the wind. Yes.
Yeah.
There's that.
And
Also,
the puppy.
wind barking.
Chris, can
I
you
thought
tell us
Bella
about
was
your
loud.
pets?
What is that?
Can you tell us about your pets?
No, they're not my pets. They're the next door neighbor's pets.
Ah,
Oh.
Well, you need to go over there right now. And tell
Yeah,
them.
hold on. Let me move because
Mute your
There are
mic in the
things going
meantime
on.
and we'll move on.
So this one I'm going to keep brief because I know that you guys aren't super huge fans of it, but I needed to bring it up. So there's this not TV series, YouTube series that's been going on for 5 years, and it might just be over. We're not really sure if what we saw for like the most recent episode is the end. It could be, and we could just be left open or whatever. But Pat knows what I'm talking about, and he's watching this. Marble Hornets just had its most recent episode, and it may be over, considering they're going to have the box set of the whole series out in a couple of months. So if this is indeed the end, guys who are watching this, what are your feelings? Jonathan, what are your feelings on this maybe being the end?
Nope.
Okay, good deal.
Wait, is this that like really interesting premise show that you were telling me about?
That is that I was trying to sell you on to
I
watch.
know. I watched like the trailer and just it was so weird and creepy. I really, I've thought about this a couple of times since I saw that I kind of want to watch it. I guess this means that if it comes to an end, hopefully it's a good ending, and that would also mean that I'm really excited to, I guess, watch something that was really weird. Because you said was it like 18 or 19 episodes in, it gets really good, right?
Yeah, like episode. Yeah, I think it's like 18 or 19. Where like for me, it really grabbed me there. I'm like, okay, I am well vested in this.
I'm interested because I
yeah.
want to see weird found footage stuff.
Yeah,
That sounds awesome.
the found
See,
footage series.
If you want my opinions on this stuff, you just got to get my girlfriend on this show because I think she watches Marble Hornets.
I know that she does. So, Jonathan, you're kicked off. Get Holly on here ASAP.
Yeah. I'm
but-
sure that'll go over really well.
But yeah, so people out there that are watching or listening later on or whatever, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about it, and we'll provide contact information stuff at the end of all of this. Yeah, that's kind of my stuff, my big things that I wanted to talk about. John, I see that you've got some stuff here on this outline that you want
I
to talk about.
do. Do you guys know who Takashi Tezuka is? He's big at Nintendo. In charge.
How big?
I think of the Tokyo EAD. I think he's one of those, like the front runner of Tokyo EAD.
thought you meant like he's 12 feet tall. Like,
yes,
okay.
he's 12 feet tall. He's a monster. He is Reggie Fils-Aimé.
No.
He's that guy. Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
wait.
Anyway,
Is he big enough-
he
is he big
said
enough for
a
me to get
whole bunch of
picture with him?
stuff. What's up?
Is he big enough for me to get a picture with him?
Yes. Jesus, Chris. More on that momentarily, because yes, like I said before, Chris is luckier than all of us put together. But he was talking in a whole bunch of interviews at E3. If you guys want to look up some of these interviews, we'll find a way to link to them. I'm not sure if we can do show notes or not, but we'll find a way, because there is a whole bunch of entertaining interviews to read, talking about stuff like those cute little freaking Yoshi yarn dolls that we saw during the Nintendo Digital event, and I want like 200 of them. He says that we may or may not be able to get Yoshi yarn merchandise. I want it. I want it.
Did you just call it Yoshi Yarn?
So it used to be
I'm
called.
still calling it Yoshi yarn.
No, I don't. I don't. No.
Yoshi's Woolly World is what
Oh,
it's
it's so
actually.
much better.
I know.
Did you play that?
Yes.
That's awesome. You know what? You did play it because I read your impressions.
Yeah, that game is baller.
Oh, that's good.
I'll get more into that game, and we'll talk more about that game as we get deeper into our E3 experiences. But I definitely want some actual Yoshi yarn stuffs, because I want more than this. He makes an appearance for the
Oh,
first
no.
time ever since PAX East. Jared
Oh.
knows who this is.
Oh, wait. I'm trying to write a question here.
Yes.
Oh,
Look
that
at
Yoshi.
that
Yeah.
Yoshi.
Every time. So there's a joke with that. Every time that.
Don't.
Every
Nope.
time. Every Yoshi.
I'm on the edge of my seat here, Jared.
Every time that you basically make Yoshi do his little noise thing, it means that John is angry. So like, I would like annoy him as he's trying to write. Maybe we'd go. It's like so funny.
If our
Um,
random Yoshi talk doesn't catch your attention, maybe the fact that Tezuka wants to do a Super Mario Sunshine sequel and a Majora's Mask remake, but hey, no information available at this time, maybe that'll catch your interest.
I just got wet. A little bit. Hey, a whole lot.
This is weird.
If not, if that doesn't catch your interest, did you know that Mario Maker used to be a Mario Paint sequel?
Yeah,
Yes.
I read that.
What
I
the
read that in
hell
the
is
outline.
going on, man? What the hell is going on?
If
That's
Evolution
basically my contribution to this news thread, is what the hell is going on. Besides letting Jared know that the deluxe mode is coming free to Mutant Muds on 3DS, so it will finally have checkpoints, and you will finally be able to clear level 2-4, so Jules Watcham doesn't have to do it for you.
Yeah, it's pretty funny when the developer of the video game like takes your 3DS and is like, "Let me show you."
It's
And I'm
true.
like, holy crap! What is happening? And I had to explain to him. I understand, sort of.
Jules Watcham at Renegade Kid is one of the nicest people, and that was one of my big PAX East highlights, besides meeting Axe Studios in person, of course.
Of course. Jonathan, that's that. Oh, that is your stuff. Cool. So we did get down to the Mutant Muds things.
Yes. So we are left with Chris.
Chris, what you got for us?
I am in a kind of. I left my phone outside, which had the outline on it, so-
Well, I can tell you what you have here, and you can explain more for us. Spoilers, it's about the leak list about Smash Brothers.
Oh, yes. Did you guys get a chance to look at that?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's a link from
Yeah,
Gematsu.
Randy.
What?
Shulk.
Shulk? Yeah, exactly. Bring it on. I'm not the only one that wants Shulk. Ask
You're damn
Jonathan.
Skippy. I want some damn Shulk in my Smash Brothers.
So here's the basic gist for all the listeners. There was a person who leaked a Smash Brothers roster to, what was it, Gematsu?
Yep.
Yeah.
Leaked it to Gematsu, and they had originally predicted that a Pokemon from Pokemon X and Y would be revealed, that Palutena would be revealed, that Pac-Man would be revealed, that Mii Fighters would be revealed. Basically, everything he said has so far come true. And there's 3 more predictions that he has for Jamatsu. One of them is Shulk, one of them is a character from Rhythm Heaven, and the third one is what? I can't remember.
Chrom
Chrom,
from Fire
yes.
Emblem Awakening.
Yes, Chrom.
I
So,
think
yeah,
Chrom
Chrom
is
is-
going to happen. I want Shulk to happen very, very badly. But where the hell that Rhythm Heaven character come from?
I have no
Sometimes,
idea. Who knows?
yeah, sometimes you got to shake things up. I mean, who expected Wii
Wii
Fit?
Fit Trader.
Yeah, exactly.
That was one of my defining experiences of E3 2013, was seeing that character revealed trailer for the very first time. I was like, are you kidding?
Well, Chris says he expected it, apparently.
I did. I was more hyped because they revealed Villager, and I was like, oh yeah, Villager, and then they revealed Wii Fit Trainer, and I'm like, so hyped. Like, my jaw was on the floor.
And now you can be either gender of Wii
Yes.
Fit Trainer, so
It's true.
And-
Smart Nintendo.
yeah, way to go.
Sort of.
And Villager.
Tell me about your life. So I don't even know what you're talking about, but you know what? Smash. I'm jealous, sort of. You know, a little bit of everyone who went to the Smash events at Best Buy. A tiny bit jealous of the folks here in this very show who went and played Smash.
I didn't just play Smash, I played the hell out of it.
Yeah.
I really am so very, very interested. And you know what? There's one character. You know, there was a lot of feedback I saw like on the internet of people going to these Smash events and this and that. I didn't really see too many people commenting on Rosalina. Everyone was kind of commenting on. They were like, I had to choose Greninja. I had to choose this new character, and it's like they
Little
only had an
Mac,
opportunity
Little
to
Mac,
play.
Little
Yeah.
Mac.
Little Mac.
Little Mac
like-
is going to be the new Ike of that damn game,
So
I
here's the
swear to
deal.
God.
Like if I would have played, I would not have played Little Mac. I don't think. Especially if my only opportunity would have been actually there was plans to go to Nintendo World because they were just playing that every day. It fell through though because my friend got like really really sick, so we
That's
didn't
no
go.
fun.
But I would have played Rosalina, and then you know I don't know because I just want to know the mechanics. But I don't know if you guys played Rosalina at all.
I got to go to Best Buy, and I waited in line for 2 hours. That line was super long even after me, because I got there. Okay, well, the whole thing started at 4. I got in line at around 3:30, and I didn't get to play until like 6. But it was 2 rounds, 5 minutes each, so we only got to play 10 minutes, and we could get back in line again, but they were going to close 3 hours later. So the back of that line was a lot further than where I started. So like half a store long. This place was packed, and this was just some random mall. It wasn't like a super high volume area, like somewhere in like deep in the metro or anything. So. Yeah, but I only got to play 2 rounds, but I played as Mega Man. I had to play Mega Man, of course, because at least one new character, I think, and then I had to like try an old character to see how it played, and so I played Sonic, so I was just blue and blue.
One blue blur to another.
It's true, and
Blur, blue bomber.
Blue Blur and the Blue Bomber.
so
See, Chris and I share the same brain.
it's true, you do. But yeah, I didn't. I was more kind of just like having fun with it versus like trying to figure out things like how does this play in relation to Brawl or Melee or anything. So, Chris or John, if you guys got more hands-on experience, what are kind of your takes?
Trust me, I certainly did. Especially with that damn 3DS version. You guys, especially Jared, since you were worried about how that game's going to control, it feels kind of weird. Like, my first experience with next-gen Smash was via the 3DS version, and I had played Brawl like maybe a week prior, like just before I left for E3, and I knew I was decent at the very least, but I got the 3DS in my hand, and man, it was a struggle. I think the controls, because the 3DS isn't a freaking GameCube controller, and the analog stick kind of feels sluggish in comparison to what the GameCube controller has to offer. I think people will get used to them, but I think every single person who is so used to playing Brawl with a GameCube controller or even with Wii controls is going to take a little bit to get used to things. So hopefully when you do sit down with the game itself in October, you will eventually get the learning curve down and start to enjoy it. But I thought for a little bit that maybe it was just me and maybe I wasn't as skilled as I used to be, but then I got my hands on the damn GameCube controller on the Wii U version and I was sweeping left and right and having so much fun. So I was like, yeah, I still got it. I do.
It was interesting at the Best Buy that I was at for controls. The only thing they offered was the Wii U Pro controller, which is weird because I had never actually used one before. So it was interesting. Just kind of like getting the feel for buttons was kind of different. But other than that, it was just fine. So I might have to pick one of those up because that controlled really nice.
Yeah, I did play quite a bit at E3. I got my hands on Zero Suit Samus, who I considered fairly new since this was like the first time she's her own separate character.
Mm-hmm.
I was pretty cool with that one. My number one was definitely Greninja. That guy is a beast. I did try Villager. Villager was, I think he's sort of a meta character. You need to really learn how to use his moves to get him 100% awesome, but I think the potential's there. I did try Wii Fit Trainer. That one was a little difficult. She's very agile, which is good, but it seems like you really need to charge her smashes in order for her to deal a decent amount of damage. And the one that I was kind of let down by, unfortunately, was Mega Man, because I did play him too. And even though I think that he's a good character, it seems like some of his moves are a little random. That you use his moves and all the powers that he gets from the various Mega Man games don't come out necessarily when you need them to.
Oh, by the way, folks, I main Marth, and that's all I played as.
Oh man, so boring. That's all you played as was Marth?
I'm a boring guy. I tend to swap between Marth and Pikachu, and that's pretty much it. I'll try some of the new characters when I have the game itself and when I can like sit down at my leisure with it for a few hours. But my goal with writing up Smash impressions for Op Rainfall and for myself was to like understand how the game controls and works in relation to the games that came before it. So I had to pick a character that I know the ins and outs of.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. That's the best way to really compare them back and forth. And Jared now has two videos at the same time.
There's two. Oh,
wow. Did your PC freeze or what's the deal?
Jaredception.
Cloning has taken place.
Oh, what?
Uh-oh.
I really... Okay, I really don't know like what just happened to my computer. I've never had an issue with it ever.
Show us the issue. Can you show us the issue?
It literally gave me this weird screen that's like, your computer needs to restart because of this, and it gave me like a file path of just like, I don't know, and then it just like restarted, and and my mouse isn't working. God damn it. And I'm on my Wi-Fi, which kind of sucks. Like, I might have to switch this over to data. Like, I really actually don't know what's going on.
It wouldn't be a first show without technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Shall we move on?
It's probably because I finally downloaded Windows 8.1, and I don't know what. I don't know what's going on.
I tried to
right
remove his.
I'm logging back in.
His PC thing, just so it would be just one of them.
Sorry.
But it turns out it just kicks him by user instead of by device. So.
No, you got him. He's here.
Oh, is he?
Yes, he is.
I see his face, but he's frozen and not talking.
I see him.
Well.
Or the phone.
Yeah.
Via his phone.
Oh.
Anyway.
Krispy Kreme.
What we're gonna move on.
I'm trying to log back in. It'll only be a minute, maybe.
Well, first I'm gonna invite him back to the show. As we're going
to. You guys can't hear Jared because I can.
No, can't hear him at all.
Jared, right now, Jared, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Jared can hear me, and you can hear Jared.
Well, then I guess I'm the only one.
Randy, you are Jared free.
It's true. I got no
Oh, for the
Jared.
love of
Jared,
Christ.
would you mind leaving the
See
show
this?
and then just joining
Thank you,
back
Paxies,
again?
for giving
That'd
me a
be
wireless
awesome, because
mouse.
otherwise we're not going to
Mad
be able to
Catz
talk.
Party
and that would be really,
2013.
really sad.
Because
Um,
without it, my mouse is not working.
What?
Hey, Jared.
Shit.
Since
What?
since you can't hear Randy, but you can hear me, leave the show, and Randy will invite you back. Okay?
Yep.
Anyway.
See you in a
says
second,
that-
Jared.
It just says your PC ran into a
take
problem.
Some
This problem
question
caused your
things
PC
here
to
in the meantime.
restart. Thank you, you
Let's
asshole.
see here.
Right, bye.
Deco asks, did any of you catch them all on Google Maps on April Fool's Day? Will you
No.
get Google's congratulatory card? I didn't. I caught like 8, and then I'm like, well, that was fun, and then I quit.
Oh.
Chris, did you?
I played the real Pokemon game. I didn't
Me
need
too.
Google Maps.
Me too.
Wow, whole lot of not fun you guys are. Jeez. Let's see. Got to scroll down here through all of these. Apparently, Pat was calling someone the Nostradamus of Smash Bros. I'm not sure.
The rumor person.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's the person. Gotcha.
Yeah, I put things together.
Yeah. Well, Gabriella asks, are any new Zelda games coming out? And yes, there was one announced for Wii U, so that's coming.
It's true. Not only Zelda Wii U, which is coming in 2015, but Hyrule Warriors, which everyone here should love. If
Yes.
anyone listening to this doesn't love that game, I have things to show you.
That's coming out here in September, if I remember correctly.
September 26th.
Yes, so that is done by Tecmo Koei, and it kind of it's basically Dynasty Warriors Zelda, but they've done a lot of different things with it. So
Yes, they have, including making Zelda and Midna playable.
it's true. Plus more characters. We've got Impa, and there's plenty more that they haven't revealed yet. So
It's true.
we have so much exciting stuff. Deco says that he wants Concept to buy Capcom. I agree. KG Inafune, start another Kickstarter to raise the money to buy Capcom.
Dude,
I will give you
wonder
everything.
I wonder if people would get behind that and raise that kind of stupid amount of money.
Dude, let's not forget Platinum Games, man.
True.
Let's
Yeah,
not
I would.
Let's not forget Kamiya. Let's not forget Inaba.
I just think it would be amazing for Inafune to buy it out and then like show up at a board meeting like, hey, remember me?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mega Man Legends 3.
Yeah.
Well, that would make
all
my
of our
day.
resources to doing this.
That would make my decade.
Yeah, exactly. There's no way that I wouldn't be screaming and wetting my pants.
Jared says he's blocked.
Jared says he's blocked. Well,
Live show.
live show,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the rodeo, folks.
Invitation has been posted, Jared, so you can let him know of that because we want
know-
him back.
While we're waiting on Jared, let's
Uh-huh.
go into what we've been playing.
But Jared was first on the list.
Let's move the order
We can-
around a little bit.
Fine. Jeez. Fine. Well, then guess who was second? Me.
It's true, Randy. So why don't you tell us what you've been playing?
Okay, so first I'm going to knock out some of the smaller things first, and then I'm going to save my big two for the last. So first of all, for Basement Quality, for those of you not in the know, is a Let's Play group I do with Pat, one of the listeners we've got, or watchers, I guess, right here. It's a Let's Play group called Basement Quality, and it's fun. We are some goofy bastards, and we play games, and right now we're playing through No More Heroes for the Wii. And it's good times. I haven't played it in a few years, so it's fun, and you slice people's heads off, and they say, ouch, my spleen, which I don't think that's the problem if you're getting your head chopped off. So have you guys ever played No More Heroes at all, either the Wii or the PS3 version?
I have not, but it's one of those games I keep really meaning to go back to because I hear like a lot of great things about it.
John, I'm sorry, did you say that you had or had not?
I have not played No More Heroes. It's one of those games that's on my infinite backlog list that I need to get to.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of cool things. I don't know if you guys know. I'm just over here playing my niche JRPGs.
That's fine. That's all good. I'll get to some ARPG or some RPGs right now. I had I relapsed, guys. I started up a third playthrough of Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13.
You are a fiend.
I have a problem. I'm
Sir.
sorry. I need to dress her up, okay? And I need to.
Can we diagnose this right now that you have savior complex?
Ooh,
I think we have a first episode title.
Savior complex. But it's fun. I didn't jump to hard mode because I want to up my stats some more. So I just started on regular. Oh no. Come on. Jared just messaged me and says that I'm blocked. One of the participants has blocked me. I know I did. Apparently when I ejected you, it blocked you, so I've taken you off the block, Jared. So I keep trying to invite you, and I don't know, you guys are going to have to check your Hangouts thing too, because I'm not sure if it just automatically like, well, if one person hates this guy, then everybody does.
I did. It's a
Good.
thing.
Well, good. So I'm going to keep trying to work on getting that working. Oh, we got... it was Randy. Thank you for throwing me under the bus, even though I just admitted to it.
I'm good for a couple things. One of them is throwing people under the bus. So
Good.
It's live shows, ladies and gentlemen.
True. I don't know.
What else, Randy? What else?
What else? So then, after getting my thirst sated for Lightning Returns, I jumped on to Tales of Xillia, because I had a second playthrough I was playing as Mila, because the first time through I played through as Jude. But it was good. It was a fun time, but I felt like his ending was rather just kind of like he didn't have much to do. So it was really short, and it kind of left a lot of mysteries open. But a lot of the stuff kind of surrounded Mila, so I'm like, I wonder if there's more to her ending if I played as her. So I jumped back into that and played that for a bit, and took a bit getting used to the combat again. John, you have Tales of Xillia. How have you enjoyed it? Have you beaten it? You've beaten it, right?
Randy, what do you think the answer to that question is?
My guess is you haven't played it since the week it came out.
That is the correct answer. But you know what? I've got it. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's here on my shelf, collecting dust along with everything else I haven't played. But I've been busy.
John, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
If I recall correctly, you got that the same week that you got Dragon's Crown.
Yes.
So did you ever crack into that or what?
I played Dragon's Crown for a little bit, and then the gameplay got super duper stale to me. I'm sorry, Chris.
Oh, I love it. We need to play online. That's what needs to happen. We need to.
That's why, because I'm the kind of person that like has no friends, so I don't play much online. So that kind of game, when it's single player, like it only gets So you feel me there, eh?
I do. But hey, Vita PS3 crossplay now. There's no excuse.
True.
True enough. Poor Jared.
It's true. We're sorry for this, everybody, because I would love to have him back on. So the other one is last night, Pat and I played Resident Evil 6. Now, we played this months ago, back in like January and December. We made it through Leon and Helena's campaign, which was excellent. It was a very, very good portion of the game. We played through Chris and Piers, who are very much more like military-like sort of things versus like fighting zombies, and they fight like more military zombies. It's weird, which is fun, and that was great. And then we played Jake and Sherry, which is really not fun, but we made it through. And then now we're finally playing as Ada and her sidekick, Agent, which is just a dude that is equipped for combat and wears a helmet so you can't see his face. Because her campaign is like just her by herself, but because there's co-op, they just had to plug in somebody to be played as.
Oh, that's kind of a cop-out, isn't it?
It is extremely bad because like all of the prompts for like doing things that have animations for Ada to do, they didn't bother to program animations for him, so that player doesn't get moves. So they could be like, well, I'm here, I could hit this switch to like turn off all of the zombies coming into the room, but I don't have rockin' tits like Ada does, so I guess this just isn't gonna happen.
That's the conundrum of our time.
It
true.
really, really is.
So that was that, and we made it through two whole things of two chapters of that. So we made it through there. My other big ones were let's see. Sly Cooper. I have that Sly Cooper collection. Remember that?
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
Downpour podcast listeners will remember.
It's true. So I beat the first game, like I said that I would, and so then I moved on to the second one. So that
How
one
does
is.
it feel?
It's an improvement over the first one. The layout of the game is a little bit different, and I know Chris was really pushing me to play more of those games. So, Chris, are you happy that I've made it through the
really
first
happy.
one?
I do remember telling you to go a little easy on the first one because it is a product of its time. So I'm glad the Sly 2 enhancements are kicking in. The gameplay design fixed a little bit. It gets better even in Sly 3. So
really, is there that big of an improvement, or is it just kind of like, well, we made big improvements from 1 to 2, so 2 to 3 is just more like minor tweaks just to make things a little bit better?
They also add. You can also play as Bentley and Murray, I believe, in Sly 3.
Well, you can in 2. There are parts where you have to
okay.
go ahead and select them and play as them as well.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember that part, but I do remember that they do add that. It seems like an improvement. I can't remember exactly. It's been a long time, but it just continuously gets better. And then, thankfully, Sly 4 feels a lot like Sly 3, so.
Okay. Because Sly 4, that one's on the PS3, not just a collection, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one was actually put out fairly recently. I think that was last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
So after I play through those, I will have to get to it. Unfortunately, I had gamer ADHD, and like I said, I played some Lightning Returns, and I played some Tales of Xillia. So I kind of put that down. Another thing that I did this past weekend, which was part of my gamer ADHD, is after all of the craziness of E3 and like really getting excited for, you guessed it, Xenoblade Chronicles X. I was kind of in a Xeno mood, so I sat down on the old YouTubes and I watched 3 hours and 15 minutes of Xenosaga Episode 1 in like one sitting.
Wow.
Man, I played that game in high school. Man, this game is slow, even just if you're watching the story. Like, you don't even have to run around places.
Oh, Xenosaga is, I think, the answer to the Hideo Kojima school of gaming, where the story just moves slow as sin.
Yeah, and there's just really long times of, like, you play as characters, or at least you're experiencing the story of these characters, and all of a sudden a switch to a whole different set of characters, and then their thing goes on forever before they even meet up with the previous ones. So it's like, is this just different stories and very episodic? What's going on? So John, you played through. Did you play? How much of Xenosaga did you play? Did you play all 3 games, or?
I have played some of Xenogears, some of Xenosaga Episode 1, and that's where I stopped. I still need to play Xenogears before I pick up Xenosaga again. I'm not Charlotte Buckingham, former editorial head of Opera and Fall, who has been trying so desperately to get me to do 2 things. One is play Monster Hunter, and one is play Xenogears. And I have not done either one. I'm an awful friend, and Charlotte, I'm sorry.
For the most part, you kind of are. I mean,
human garbage.
It's just total human garbage. So I did 3 hours and 15 minutes of Xenosaga, and that is, from what YouTube told me, there's over 7 hours in that first game. So I have to go through that, and I never beat the first one. I've heard the second one is not super great, but I've heard the third one is pretty great. So even like the second one, not so great on like story, like the gameplay was okay. So I get to look forward to the crappy part and just see really bad story. But luckily that one's only like 4 hours. So at least there's that. So I did that, but then I'm like, "Ah, you know what? I'm getting kind of tired of just sitting and watching something. So um, let's try playing something. So I'm like, I have a physical copy of Xenogears, and I've popped it in once, and I'm like, oh, this is a game. And then I went and did something else. Um, so I tried Xenogears for the first time, and well, like first time for realsies, and it's good. Like the combat system is kind of cool because your main person doesn't fight with swords; he fights with like his fists and his feet. So you get to like input combos during the whole turn-based thing. Um, so I got to do that, and I've met my first party member, and I gotta say, like so far, how things are unfolding, story-wise and things, it feels a lot like Evangelion the video game, in that we've got a main character that's really unsure of himself and has to be put in his place by other people. Um, but it's good. I mean, and there's a whole bunch of.
Does he have a cool Walkman?
He does not have a cool Walkman, but he does have a giant mech. So
That works.
there is that, and it kind of does its own thing. Oh man, this is just so sad with Jared. I really wish he was here, and I'm trying, and I feel so bad because for no apparent reason, I kicked him out. So,
He's blocked forever. There's gonna be no more Jared on this here.
I'm worried it might be
backwards
just for
compatible
the
show.
for the episode until I hit stop broadcast and then start it again. But I don't want to do that because then I'm afraid that I would lose all of you wonderful watchers. Oh, it's so tough.
Exactly, and we don't want to do that.
But one thing that's kind of bumming me out is the back of the box says that there's over 20 minutes of anime cutscenes, and of course there was a bunch of them in the beginning. I'm like, oh man, they're blowing their load too early. Like I'm gonna be like on disc 2, and I'm like, where's the fun animated scenes? So there's that. I'm gonna stop talking because I've been talking about games for far too long. So
I guess that means me, the king of all talking, is next.
yeah, Jonathan, hit us with what you've got.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to sit back, relax, have yourself a nice I don't what takes an hour to eat? Like order a pizza, and by the time I'm done talking, your pizza will have arrived, and you'll have something to eat.
Or
So
watch
there's
the
that.
entire Knights of the Round summoning sequence from Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, do that, and then you'll be back on time.
It's true. I talk too much, just like I write too much. Those are two of my problems for our new listeners who can hear me above the noise of the dogs outside. I have been playing Tomodachi Life for 17 hours, over 17 hours, and I don't know if you guys know about this game or know about me personally, so I guess I'll start with me. I have a very addictive personality. It's why I tend to avoid MMO type games where I will invest my entire life into it and before long not have a girlfriend anymore, not have a roof over my head, things like that. So I avoided Animal Crossing when it came out. I avoid games like Harvest Moon and Rune Factory. I avoid them all. And then Tomodachi Life, that Tomodachi Life Direct that happened, I'm like, I've just got to try it. I've just got to try it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's here. It isn't Animal Crossing. It's a very unique beast, but you get from Tomodachi Life what you put into it. The premise is that you, as your me, move in to an apartment complex, and your friends, or whoever you choose, can move into the apartment complex with you, can form relationships with you, friendships, play games, you can feed them, you can clothe them. It's not quite The Sims, because it's not that interactive. All you can really do is stop by and visit your Miis in their apartments or homes if they do get married or have kids and stuff like that. All you can really do is visit them. You can't directly control them. You influence their decisions and stuff like that. Like, if I'm like, I think Holly is attractive, I want to ask Holly out, and Holly's my girlfriend, I can say yes or no, and stuff like that. Like, with Tomodachi Life, you're effectively playing God over these people's lives and watching the results. And it's quite fun if you do something like put friend of the show Joe Walker and his wife in your apartment complex and watch the two start having relationships with other people who they've never met before and things like that. So you get from Tomodachi Life exactly what you put into it. It's a very fun experience. You can do things like take pictures like live as things are happening. There's definitely the opportunity to catch your friends in some awkward moments and then share them over Twitter and like, haha, look what your me did. Like, it's very much a story that unfolds on its own. I don't know how much that is worth to some of you because the gameplay is very limited and it's one of those things that you can only play in short bursts versus for long periods of time. But, I mean, I've had so much fun with it so far because some cray-cray things have been going on. But I guess that's all I really have to say about Tomodachi Life.
I still want to kind of get that game because it does look super fun. Because I thought it was just going to be like regular Animal Crossing stuff, but then they've got like the awesome like voice synthesized things and like the weird story things.
It's all weird. It's bonkers. It's not Animal Crossing at all. Like, you're not fending to your crops or things like that. Like, there is the mundane aspect of like needing to feed your Miis and keep their tummies full and stuff like that. But I mean, it's not cumbersome. You stop in, you see what the hell people are doing, and you even see inside their heads and see what kind of weird dreams they're having. And like, if you put a lot into it, like, you'll get a lot out of it. Like, it'll make you laugh. Like, they know they are spot on with their humor, and whoever localized this, like, props, mad props. So, Randy, I hope I kind of sold you on it. I'm not sure if it's worth the full price, because like I said, it's short burst kind of gameplay versus long immersive stuff. But I mean, I really have put 17 hours of my life into that game, so I've gotten my money's worth so far. But other people are like, oh, this is so boring, I don't see how can people possibly, like, if you're not the kind of person who enjoys that kind of thing, like, it's not the game for you. It probably won't win you over. But if you're the least bit curious, I'm not sure if there is a demo out in North America. I know Europe has. Chris, do you know anything about the...
Yes, actually, they sent out demo invites based on people who I think registered Animal Crossing, and so I got one that way. But if you buy the game physical, like the physical package, it should have 2 demo codes included in the game.
Ooh, okay, Randy. Guess who gets a demo code?
Pass it on.
All right, cool. I'll give that a go then.
Yeah, I'll hook you up, Randy.
I did kind of want to throw in a little bit. I liken it most to like The Sims. Like EA's The Sims.
Mm-hmm.
You don't directly get to control the Miis, but it's sort of like a similar aspect to that. I think it's really funny though, because it's a little funny story that I have. Is that just like, John was saying about Joe Walker and his wife, how he could see them sort of like mingle and interact with other people. My wife and my Miis are both in the game, and it took me forever to get us together. Because according to the game, we have like a 30% compatibility rating.
Mm-hmm.
And we can.
Holly and I are only 19% compatible, by the way.
Yeah,
these two are hopeless.
Tomodachi Life is not a good gauge for relationships because been married 5 years. It hasn't Tomodachi Life hasn't stopped me yet. So, but yeah, it is. It's pretty funny because then you try to get. Miis, I've actually had a couple other Miis being like, hey, I think that wildcard guy is kind of cool. I want to meet him. And I go, no. No. Until finally one of the Miis was like, hey, let's set up Chris and Huli. That would be nice. And I, of course, clicked yes. And at first, even then, they said they wanted to go out. And they were like, let's just be friends for a little while longer. But which is not unlike real life. Let me tell you.
Yeah, isn't that how it went?
Yeah, I had to ask her, I think, 3 times for her to finally start going out with me.
Nice.
So, Tomodachi Life was a little easier because this time she only rejected me once. I got her on the second try.
Tomodachi Life is as good as the stories you can tell from it. I hope that if any of our listeners have gotten Tomodachi Life, we will leave a space for you guys to like tell your stories in the comment section, and we'll share some on the next show. Why not?
Or better yet, we will post our QR codes, our Tomodachi Life QR codes.
That
So
too.
can people download
can
us if
put
they want to? I mean,
Our Mii's in your Tomodachi Life apartment, like I did with Mr. Wildcard.
yeah, if you want this hair in your game, you can have it. QR code away.
True enough. I'll move on. I
Yeah.
also played 1001 Spikes. God, that game. I haven't died yet. 1001 Spikes is by far and away the cruelest game I have ever played on any platform whatsoever. That's all I can say. I will get to the end, and when I do get to the end without dying, I will do a victory dance live here on the air. And since I've already shown my skin on this here podcast, I may do it risky business style. You just don't know.
Hmm.
Also, when I got back from E3, I did not go back to my apartment immediately because Holly had her mother staying, so I stayed with my friend Kara for a few days. And Kara has a Nintendo 64 and a handful of games for it. So I played Banjo-Kazooie, Super Mario 64, and Mario Kart 64 on their original hardware. And can I just state exclusively for the record on this here backwards compatible podcast, that controller is garbage. That controller is hot garbage. And the last time I played Super Mario 64 was via a GameCube controller on the Wii Virtual Console. And playing it on the N64 with that craptacular analog stick, I was like, what the hell is actually going on right now? I did not have my Mario skills on, and it was just not working out. And I know it's not because I'm not good at Mario 64, because that's a game I know like the back of my hand. It's just because my life ain't used to the N64 anymore. But at least I'm not playing it on the Nintendo DS, where they don't have analog controls at all. I'm very curious to pick up Super Mario 64 DS now that the 3DS has an analog stick and I can control it that way. And I'd be curious if that game is worth re-experiencing again. Have either of you two ever played Super Mario 64 DS?
Yes, it's actually one of the first games I got for my DS.
How'd you like it?
I felt like it was basically what Super Mario 64 was. It was cool because the Fat DS, I'm not sure if later ones, came with like the strap thing with like you could put over your thumb with the little nubby, so you could basically use
I know that.
You use the touch screen as like a second analog stick sort of thing. At least that's what they're trying to go for.
That's what they were trying to.
So I played it that way, and I'm like, oh, this is really neat. And but I never finished it. Just I beat it on the 64, but I didn't care to go through it again. I just kind of got it for the novelty of I'm playing a 64 game on the go.
See, I wanted Super Mario 64 DS because you can play as Yoshi. Who doesn't want to play as Yoshi?
Right, exactly.
Can I just state for the record that Banjo-Kazooie, I really need to get an Xbox 360 and replay through that game, because that game, just playing it for the few minutes that I did via Kara's N64, I want to play that game again so bad. Why does Rare have to be owned by Microsoft?
Do yourself a favor and stay away from nuts and bolts.
Yeah, I kind of
do it.
guessed that, but with Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, like, do want. I need more of that in my life, so that's why
I
I'm
know,
thankful
so
my
good.
best friend has an
So
N64.
Yeah.
Also, in the land of retro. Oh, by the way, Mario Kart 64. Wow. Kara and I raced each other on 150cc via the Star Cup.
Mhm.
I got my ass handed to me. That girl is good at Mario Kart. Like, I don't. It's very rare that I run into someone who is comparable in terms of gaming skill that I am, but you don't mess with that girl in Mario Kart.
Whoa!
Dude,
Whoa!
this is here for the record. I
Well, sir,
I
you
absolutely
are gonna
got
have to
my.
race.
I do need to get Mario Kart 8, and we will talk about
You
Mario
do.
Kart 8 when Chris gets to talking about what he's been playing. I have not So I'm not sold on Mario Kart 8 yet. I will be when it drops in price and when there's inevitable some sort of Black Friday sale or something I can jump on and get Mario Kart 8 that way. But as far as the quintessential Mario Kart experience, yeah, I'll get it on my friend's N64. Like, that's... But keeping with my retro theme, I am getting a Game Boy Advance SP tomorrow, so I can do things like play Pokemon Yellow version and Pokemon Red version and Adventure Island 2 Aliens in Paradise with a backlit screen. Because that's one of the things that's been aggravating me about my recent retro kick and playing the Game Boy. Finding good light in this apartment is impossible, so I can't enjoy the experience I've been having with those games. But when I do get a backlit screen and a system that can charge itself, I will totally play through Adventure Island 2 Aliens in Paradise and do an all Triceratops run. I owe it to myself, and I owe it to Jason from Game Podunk.
So what we're going to do, because Jared's got kicked out, and we think that if we restart the call, he would actually be able to come in because he's no longer blocked by any of us. And also, it looks like that Chris has gotten disconnected, is we're just going to stop this broadcast and restart. So apologize for the technical difficulties here. But if you just stay on the event page and then start watching again, we should be good to go. So you guys ready? John, you ready to restart this?
Okay.
Okay, we're going to restart, but Chris just got back here. But we're going to try it again. So I'm going to restart the call. And we're going to try this so we can get Jared back. We're going to save him because he needs to
We'll get Jared back.
All right, so here we go in just a few seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you again soon. All right, and we're back because this thing is dumb.
Can we post the link to the event
please
page?
do. At the bottom of the Hangouts, Jared, there should be a thing that says links. Click that, and it'll give you all of the links you will need.
Oh, for the love of Krispy Kreme. We have a Jared.
We do have a Jared.
We have an army. We have a Jared.
Welcome back, good sir.
Hi. I don't see anything about links.
That doesn't show up there for you?
Is Jared is always angry or what?
Okay, so then I will... God damn it. Here's the event page.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Oh, good lord. Ask your audience to submit questions and they will appear below.
They should
We
do
got
that.
3 viewers.
Woo! All right, cool. Because for me it says 0. So we're basically back because of giant technical difficulties.
It wouldn't be a newly launched show without them.
Nope, exactly.
We
Because
haven't been doing this for 50 episodes. We haven't.
It's true. So there's that. I'm just going to give it a couple of seconds here so that way we can get more people that are going to be here because this was really dumb. So we're going to share the link and get it out to people and all the other fun stuff. Chris has tamed his hair.
It needs to be put in place.
Yay! Hi, Zeko!
Deco's here and asks what constitutes a good question. The one that
What does constitute a good question?
Ones that make us feel uncomfortable, hopefully.
Let's get philosophical.
I would say any question that makes us feel uncomfortable is good. If we're just like, ooh, like squirmy and like, I don't like this and I feel violated. I like those kinds of questions. Probably the only one, though. That's okay. But we've got Jared back, and he's on his computer, which is cool.
Jared, your computer needs to not die anymore.
Anymore.
That... Can we not talk about what that happened? Like, this is why I've been planning on getting a MacBook because my other one like didn't fuck up for like 5 years, and I've had this for like 14 months, and it just crashed out on me for the first time.
Deco Brillers ask, where did your hair go, Chris?
It is restrained, sir. It is restrained.
So we have it.
I wear a wig.
Whoa. Mind equals blown. So, Jared, you're back.
I'm back. I must have missed a bunch of shit.
We talked about what we've been playing, so now we're going to get to you before we get to Chris. So, what have you been playing recently besides this whole game of get Google Hangouts to work right?
God, like the fucking stress was through the roof, man.
I know. Tell me about it.
Some other fucking asshole. Like,
He had to be the outside looking in, man. Poor guy.
Radical defect is
man,
the
we had something going with like 15 viewers. Basically,
Oh god.
I have been, did we even get to E3 predictions yet?
Not yet,
No.
no. So,
No.
Holy
let's-
goddamn.
We're still on game for playing.
Let's kill it and let's go to E3. Let's kill
Nope.
it all.
fine.
Let's
I've
go
been
to
playing
E3.
Mario Kart 8, nothing new there, and I played it was like 2 a.m. and I'm like, I don't want to watch anything, I'm gonna fall asleep. So I started up the Conception 2 demo, the weird anime
It's
girl,
the baby making game.
like the weird anime girl, like talking to the anime girls was like, was weird, but kind of funny. And then like the actual game started, and like the graphics got really weird and terrible, and it was just like dumb, and I fell asleep. But I think talking to the anime girls was the best part. I was like fostering a relationship, trying to choose which one, and the best translated lines I've ever seen. They said, the girl was like, she was like, yeah, she's like, I heard that you don't just have to hold my hand to make the baby. You can touch my ears or my hair, and I was like,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
the hell? This is a demo. This is a demo, guys. And then I fell asleep. That's it.
Oh.
That game.
There's strangely enough, because it's the girl with the green hair, correct?
Yeah, because I didn't like the other girls.
It was the girl with the green hair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
there's
Hatsune Miiku's
actually a
daughter.
reason for that.
You know what? I'm surprised. I almost wanted to actually play that game more. The battle system was interesting. I don't know. I don't really want to talk about anything right now.
Yeah,
Well,
I wouldn't.
I'm kind of
Jared
like,
is so unbelievably
played that. I played
traumatized
the
by
whole
what
game.
happened that he's not going to talk anymore, which renders the whole quest to get Jared moot.
wait, what did you say, Chris? Is it good?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
Like every
not
other
good.
Atlas game.
Ooh, what
J.K.
did you
Rowling.
just say to me?
J.K. Rowling.
Oh my
No,
God.
that
Jared,
Radiant
I'll fight
Historia.
you.
It's just like Capcom. I own a bunch of Atlas games, but I barely played them. I gotta give them a chance.
Jared doesn't like Radiant Historia for you new podcast listeners, so yeah.
It's all right. You know what? Move on.
it's true. Chris, besides Tamagotchi Life, let us know what you've been playing, and then we'll move into E3 stuff.
Cool. I know that, yeah, we did talk about Tamagotchi Life. Mario Kart 8's fantastic. I think you guys have probably talked quite a bit about that, so I'll skip that too, but I have been playing that.
Oh.
The two that I have been playing that I don't think you guys have talked about so far is Mind Zero for the
I want to
Vita
hear more. I want to.
and Senran Kagura Burst for the 3DS.
Don't want to hear more.
Mind Zero, I like it. Mind Zero, I really do. I really like it. I think it's good. There's a lot of obvious comparisons to Persona as far as the plot's concerned, but don't let that hype you up too much, because very few things are going to live up to Persona 4 Golden, especially on Vita.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good. It's the graphics maybe aren't so great. I think maybe not, but it's a solid turn-based dungeon crawler kind of RPG. It's worth if you feel like that sort of thing. I think you'd enjoy it. Senran Kagura Burst, boobies,
Uh-huh.
and more boobies.
What else?
So-
What else besides that? Tell me.
Boobies.
Oh, great.
General
3D
Leo agrees.
boobies. It's not
General
even
Leo's kind of
not
game.
even 2D boobies, guys. It's 3D boobies.
What
Wow.
else is there to this game
It's,
besides?
Does this
side
game have
scrolling.
Oculus Rift support?
Project Morpheus confirmed.
Oh God.
Oh, let's move on, please.
My senses are tingling.
That's not your
No.
senses.
No.
So,
No, I think it's super fun. I think it's super fun. It's a side-scrolling, like beat 'em up kind of game. I know, John, you get down on that Streets of Rage 3D kind of deal on the 3DS. It's very similar to Streets of Rage, where you wander down the street. It's just a lot faster, and of course, 3D boobies. So
Jared's done.
I'll let him deal with that.
yeah, we'll let them calm down. We'll let them say woosah.
So,
Gentlemen,
do
it's
the-
E3 time.
Yes.
It's part 2 of this here show time, which
Thank
is
God.
going into E3 proper.
So we're gonna do a post-mortem on how that whole thing went. So we're gonna break it down here for right off the bat. What were our favorite announcements from each company? So Jared, you're at the top of the list. We've got Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, Ubisoft, and EA, and Square Enix, because they also did a thing. So, what was your favorite Microsoft?
The problem is that with all this craziness, I don't have any of my answers up anymore.
Well,
And I-
pull 'em up.
Jared said,
He said
You know what?
Ori
Fuck-
and the
fuck
Blind
that.
Forest.
What were we talking about?
You said
The,
Ori and the Blind Forest is your favorite Microsoft announcement. Why?
Bush League.
Because it looked okay.
Okay.
It's
It had
more than
emotional
okay,
scenes.
Jared.
Like
It's
it
more than
poked
okay.
its mom. It was like, "Hey mom, wake up!" and it was dead. And then, or maybe it was his grandpa. It's like Goku. Basically, that was it. Are we talking about what our favorite things with each?
Our
conference?
favorite announcement, yeah.
Where's John? John, are you okay?
I've muted him so that way he can deal with his thing.
While I'm talking, can someone send me the link to the outline?
Yes, absolutely.
I basically there was that. I don't have anything written down for like EA or Ubisoft because whatever. I think the fake DDR thing was hilarious. What else? My favorite thing from Sony. I don't remember.
Got No Man's Sky.
Yep, that's it. No Man's Sky. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit, and then Nintendo. What did I say?
You said Yoshi's Woolly World.
Yep, I said that because it completely surprised me as a game that I wanted to play, because I don't really care about Yoshi too much for his games, but when I saw that I was like, holy crap, I want to play this game.
Nice.
That's it. Those are my answers.
Well, under Square Enix, you just wrote Final Fantasy. I'm not sure if that's the first one.
Oh yeah, because
announced
they announced Type 0.
Yes, they did.
So
Yeah.
if
We
we
talk about
important.
that. God.
Wow, that's so crazy that the release date for the fan translation was pushed up from August to just days before E3.
You're right.
Yeah, we're getting it on PS4, right? Is that the only thing that it's mentioned to be coming to?
I think PS4 and Xbox One, but not PlayStation Vita. So people have started hashtag no Vita, no buy.
Yeah.
Because that's what people do.
What are your feelings on this, Chris? Because I know John doesn't much care for current Final Fantasies.
You're just gonna write me off like that, sir?
I'm gonna let
doesn't make
I'm gonna let
sense,
Chris
like-
go first, and then John can go. Chris,
go first.
I have a deep sadness. There's a deep pit of sadness in my soul when I hear about Type 0 and it's not on Vita. Like that's like telling me that, you know, I don't know. That's like telling me that Star Trek is dead or something. I don't know.
What?
It's awful.
That's tough. So
I
then,
know.
Chris,
You know,
that's
it's like, okay, it's
comparison.
like telling me, it's like telling me that, what the hell?
Wow.
Doesn't make sense.
John, what were your thoughts? Since you too have a Vita, was this something you were kind of hoping we would get?
I always knew
that Type 0 would make its way over here in some capacity. I'm very surprised that they didn't go ahead and announce the original game and they made an HD remaster instead. But there are whispers back in the Operation Rainfall days of me saying Type 0 is coming and someone somewhere owing me a drink. It's true. that drink is going to show up out of thin air because it's mine. I have earned
that. That may be hard to collect on.
Ooh, it wasn't me, was it?
No, it was not
Okay.
you. It's all good. But Type 0 HD, day one for this guy who doesn't like modern Final Fantasies because it took so long for it to get here. I have to see what all the fuss is about.
You know this takes place in the same universe as Final Fantasy 13, right?
Mm-hmm. I know.
Okay.
I know all
Thank
about
God,
it.
because Lightning needs to make an appearance.
She could be a recruitable party member.
I kind of want to replay Lightning Returns. Let's keep going.
Do it.
Mm.
Okay, so
Yeah, baby.
Microsoft up first. I went with either Phantom Dust because I heard such great things about the original one on the first Xbox, not the Xbox One, the first Xbox. So it's like, oh, this will be cool. Now I just need to hope that there's a PC release. Same thing for Kamiya's new game, Platinum Games Scalebound. Who else is excited for Scalebound? Because
You know what? I was in that Microsoft press conference when that happened.
I am.
And I saw Hideki Kamiya appear on screen, and I was behind people who didn't necessarily know who Kamiya was at first glance, and I had to tell them what a big fucking deal that is that he stepped on the stage for a Microsoft exclusive from Platinum Games. I was like, you go, Kamiya, you go.
the question.
Did you tell them? Did you tell them to go ask their mother who Kamiya was?
You know what? I didn't.
Did you tell them to go ask their mother who Kamiya was?
I did not.
Okay, you're not laughing, so I'm assuming you don't follow Hideki Kamiya on Twitter.
I do. I get it. But see, Kamiya's antics have just completely worn off on me over time. I'm just waiting for him to curse and say, for the next motherfucking person that mentions fucking Capcom, I'm gonna fucking block you.
He would only do that directly. Come on. You hosted that direct. That was super great. For Sony, obviously, as I had mentioned before, I like Tomb Raider, and then they were like, here's a sequel for you, Randy. So I was in that theater. I think I squealed a bit.
Your popcorn went flying.
Not from me, the guy in front of me. He was very scared. He was like, what was that noise? I'm like, don't worry. I just got excited, fangirl moment for Tomb Raider. So that was really cool. I mean, we got a CG teaser sort of thing, so it's like, I'll be happy when I can see what the gameplay's like and where it's gonna take us and all the other fun stuff. So that's currently slated for at least PS4 and probably Xbox One as well. So that'll
Maybe
be
we
cool.
got some timed exclusivity going on.
Yeah, could be. I mean, I don't know. That's the one thing with all of these, the console first-party showings is they're going to show you a game, and they're going to tell you it's for their console, but they're not going to tell you that it's also for the other guys.
Exactly.
Even if it is, like, if it's a known thing, you got to wait for like a couple of days after the thing when they, get an interview with like the developer, and they're like, oh yeah, it's available on like these other 3 things that they didn't mention. Like, oh, great. So there's that. Tomb Raider will be happening. Nintendo, they had 8 bajillion things, so it's hard to narrow it down. So I'm gonna say, finally seeing some story and some like really great gameplay from Xenoblade Chronicles X, because we have a name now.
We do.
Oh, it's not just a letter. I don't know how hard it is to like search for things. Like, tell me about X. It's just like, I don't know.
Solve for X.
Yeah. And then my other one, the surprise thing, was Splatoon. I was not expecting something like that, and that looks really, really fun. So I am really excited for Nintendo's take on a competitive shooter that's really kind of crazy. So I'm hyped for that.
Hype!
Hype for Ubisoft. I have ... because I could not think of a single thing that I cared about during that conference, which is so sad. They were so many things they could have done. They could have been like,
Valiant Hearts.
yeah, they could have done Beyond Good and Evil 2. They were just like, here's The Division and The Crew and
Oh, Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Ass Creed. So just EA. I suppose Battlefield Hardline is cool because it's something new and not just military shooter. It's cops and robbers, which is cool. Chris has something in his EA thing that I totally spaced about, so I will just squeal when he gets to his. But John, what do you got on your list for favorite reveals?
Microsoft really surprised me and almost sold me an Xbox One when they revealed Ori and the Blind Forest, because we all know how I feel about my indie gaming platformers. We know. It's a long-standing history, new listeners and viewers. I heart indie devs. I heart them all. If you are an independent developer with a fantastic game, find me. I will play your stuff. I will rant and rave about it. It's a thing. It's a thing that happens. And Ori and the Blind Forest was my thing from Microsoft to rant and rave about. And I did speak to some of the guys at Moon Studios. And they're like, it's coming to PC too. And I'm like, so much for selling me, Microsoft. So much for selling me. For Sony, of course, I have No Man's Sky, because who doesn't want to see more of No Man's Sky? Holy crap. I want that game. It's an infinite universe. Sell me on an infinite universe, and I'm good. Give me a game where I can explore forever.
I mean, I've been listening to a lot of interviews about No Man's Sky, and I listened to the devs and stuff a lot on certain things, like the Giant Bombcast live show, and the Bombcast, when they were they went to them after E3 ended, and they had a big session, and GameSpot did too. There's so much, and we actually, the devs are keeping secrets from us. They're slowly talking about it. There's actually, what's really cool in the games journalism world is they're hiding. Okay, not the games journalists, but they're getting different details, and what they're doing is they're giving out the details, and it was funny because some people have some information, the other ones have the other. It's puzzled together.
That's fun. That's what I would do if I were on that side. I would just mess with cool.
Because some outlets were like, yeah, there's no huge actual interactivity within multiplayer, but then other people were like, yes, it's gonna happen, and so. I totally agree. I really like the fact that you can start on your own planet, and you don't have the materials immediately to make a ship, and then you have to build your ship, and it could take you a little bit of time, or it could take you a lot of time, and then you can do your stuff and fly out, and then eventually potentially meet up with someone, and I guess they're going to be throwing in anomalies and
crazy,
possibly fast travel. It's already fast, but even faster to get from one part of the universe to another. Potentially, I think, to play with friends. But I'm sort of a sci-fi fan, and not really though. But it's really nice. Yes. Game of Show. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. For Nintendo, the one announcement that I did not see coming at all, that just makes me happy with glee, is Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. Because yes, I love some new IPs, and yes, I love a cute Yoshi made out of yarn, and Mii's in Smash Brothers, and the 10,000 other freaking amazing things that happened during that conference. I'm not even going to talk about the Zelda U trailer. Holy crap. But Kirby and the Rainbow Curse I just didn't see coming at all. It's a sequel, a spiritual successor of sorts, to Kirby's Canvas Curse, which is one of the best games on Nintendo DS to ever exist. It's all stylus controlled, and you're effectively controlling Kirby on a ball by drawing a line and making sure he knows where he's going. But that was one of the funnest the most fun games that I've ever played on the Nintendo DS, and I am so hungry for more on the Wii U after playing through some of that. Goodness.
Oh.
For Ubisoft, I left it blank because I completely forgot about Valiant Hearts: The Great War, because that is a thing, and I am going to play through it and review it, and whoever takes me will get that. For EA didn't really impress me so much because they're all about concepts this year. I
Yeah.
guess I'm excited for Battlefront, but I'm not going to hear more about Battlefront until spring of 2015. So until then, there's my tentative winner for EA.
There you go. Chris, what do you got here?
Well, let's see. I do have, right off the bat, Microsoft. They revealed it last year, and that's fine. But of course, Sunset Overdrive took a larger portion of their conference this year, and for good reason. It's like super crazy. The dude's cussing at the camera. They play off the whole. They open up with that military shooter, and then they bring in not a military shooter. Take your cover and go throw it in the back of your van with all the windowless things, and I think they really sold it this year. The whole live demonstration that Ted Price did was just great, and I had to play it. It looks like Jet Set Radio mixed with Left 4 Dead, and I can't get enough of that. And then of course it's Insomniac Games, which to me is, I love Insomniac Games, so I can't wait to see how they do with this. For Sony, I had the PlayStation TV, which is formerly the Vita TV in Japan, which let's face it, I kind of feel like the whole PlayStation TV thing is just taking us further away from Sony's involvement with the Vita. Speaks volumes of their involvement with the Vita. They're not only, they didn't spend a whole lot of time talking about Vita games, which made me, because if they would have said Gravity Rush 2, that would have been my Sony conference. That would have been the winner.
Huh.
But what can you do?
Yeah.
But, hey,
I want
$99.
to play Tearaway on my TV so I can show Holly how amazing that game is.
Can't play that on your TV.
I was gonna say if it's gonna use like the back touchpad and stuff, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Drat.
You can't do Tearaway. You're not going to be able to do Gravity Rush. There's an official list of games that aren't compatible.
Boo.
But this is what I'm excited for, because when I finally pick up a PlayStation 4, Remote Play is a thing, and Remote Play is pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of having two PS4s in my house, I can instead buy another PlayStation TV and run Remote Play from my PS4 on it, accessing my PS4 from two different TVs for not the same price, or having to move the damn thing.
Exactly.
So, yes, that is for me. That's what I'm most excited about it. Because I got my Vita, I'm just gonna play that if I want my Vita games. But
see, and this is the way that Sony is selling me a Vita, is to get the PlayStation TV. So now I can play Golden. I can play Tales of Hearts R. So yeah,
I'm not.
No, buy a Vita.
Jared, you don't want it?
I don't give a shit.
Oh.
I don't know. Until someone gets like a Vita, a Velveeta TV, and basically
Sounds delicious.
shows
Are
me.
you a little bitter tonight?
A little what?
Are you a little bitter tonight?
No, my caffeine kicked in, and I just don't know how to feel.
He's angry at Google Hangouts for dropping him.
I got really stressed because what was happening. Basically, let's move on here. What Vita? You know what? I don't even. Whatever. I'm getting a PS4 maybe next year. Okay, end of story.
There you go.
Chris, why don't you tell us about EA?
I will after I talk about Nintendo, if you don't mind.
Oh, you goodness! Tell us about Nintendo.
Yeah, John, what's up? You forgot Nintendo. I didn't forget Nintendo. Nintendo was super awesome, and of course we'll get into that later. But Nintendo had Splatoon, which I loved. I thought it was magical. There's little squids. I love squids now because of Splatoon. It just happened. I'm a squid lover.
Dude, squids were cool back when I was in elementary school. So, I'm not sure where you went to school, but basically, nice. Can you know what? I was one of those people who wasn't as impressed by it, but everyone who's like played these demos were like really impressed.
Yeah.
And it was winning awards and stuff of like innovation and I don't know, whatever. So instead of summing it up like everyone else, because I think a lot of us know like Splatoon is, like what really impressed you about it?
That's the thing too, and I think I've been telling people this like in other places like Twitter or stuff like that there's an aspect of that game that you can't really understand why it's special until you play it. There's something that it has to be in your hand. You have to be able to experience it for yourself, because that's where the magic happens. And when you hold the controller in your hand and you're navigating your little squid person and shooting people and throwing paint bombs and things like that, there's just something about it that it feels like the best parts of Nintendo. How Nintendo is always best when it has these off-the-wall concepts like Kirby's Epic Yarn, which people looked at that and they're like, "Oh, I don't know about that," but then people played it and people enjoyed it. With a lot of their IPs, how they just do something different. You know, a third-person painter. You know.
Yeah.
Like, it's rarely done. I mean, I think you could say Unfinished Swan probably, although I think that was first person. You know, it's something pretty unique, and the characters, even though we don't know anything about them, they're well designed. The stages were well designed. I really can't wait to see more. The person there said there are going to be more game types. I'm looking forward to it. I really hope that it's going to be a full game. I hope there's a single-player experience. I hope there's multiple multiplayer.
You think it's going to be like a full $60 title?
I hope so. I hope so. I don't know, but I hope so, because I would like to see them
as well.
Yeah, I would like to see this succeed to show Nintendo that they can take a chance on new IP and have people embrace it.
Right.
So I think that's cool.
Agree.
So Splatoon was the #1 for sure. Zelda U, of course, was impressive. All of that gameplay, that I'm freaking out right now about that. And then
you are
I can bring you back down to reality for a second if you'd like.
Jared,
no.
Ready?
I already know what you're gonna say.
I'm
really
excited for this game, actually. I'm really, really interested in the fact that A Link Between Worlds broke these conventions of like linearity, kicked out the tutorials and was like, yo, go do whatever you want. I really like the fact that like this game will probably be something similar where you can, I mean, what's really cool is like, oh, look, I can't cross this ravine or something. And then it turns out that that basically I can't cross this ravine, and I'm gonna like have to get a hook shot, but I don't have that yet, so I'll come back later. And I think that's like really neat what you can do. But that the whole comparison of like every game that they've been talking about at E3 is like, having like you see that mountain in the distance, I'm gonna go there. Like that's actually become like a backwards criticism meme where like every game wants to be sort of Skyrim. I don't really care. I think it's actually awesome, and I'm really excited to play and buy that game eventually. But it's interesting that Zelda is taking that turn, but like so is every other game that's like open world, blah blah blah. So it was interesting criticism I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that, but I'll let it go.
Well, it's one of those things where you aim for the best, and Skyrim really opened players' eyes into providing a really vast world. And hey, I mean, if you're gonna copy someone, copy the front runners. So
yeah.
I mean, there's Skyrim, which was a big world. If I'm not, I haven't played Skyrim, so I'm judging this based on people's impressions of Skyrim, not my own. From what I'm understanding, it's a huge world to explore, but after you're done with like getting the loo of the land, you realize that there is not much substance to it. I'm hoping that Nintendo learns from Skyrim and takes it one step further and gives us a huge, expansive world that's filled to the brim with the Zelda charm.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
I don't know who you were basing your opinion off of, but I can tell you I've played Skyrim and my wife has put I want to say probably about 100 hours into Skyrim, which is nothing, by the way. That world is huge, and it is filled with just tons of things that...
Okay, I can be
them-
wrong. Most definitely.
Oh yeah. No, and like you said, you're basing it off other people's opinions and stuff like that. So
Right.
it could also be, maybe they didn't really fully explore either, But yeah, Skyrim is crazy. I love that game. It's buggy as hell, but I love it.
Hopefully Zelda U won't be buggy as hell and will be pushed to 2016. Wink.
Let's hope. Let's hope it comes out before 2016.
Yeah,
I'm guessing holiday 2015 at best.
that's what my guess is.
Well, if we're seeing gameplay, it's got to be at a very good stage of development at least.
Yep,
So
I'll agree.
Hmm.
But what else, Chris?
I am going to go ahead and jump, because I did say Star Fox, but we don't know anything about that. I'm just super hyped.
Of course.
Me too. That leak that morning, I was like,
Uh,
damn it, I'm sad that I freaking read that leak. Wow. I'm sad that I read that leak instead of saw it for myself during the conference. I would have been at the very end. I'm like, oh my god, Miyamoto playing some Star Fox. Look at him, look at him, look at him.
Except for they didn't really show it. It was just Iwata in his office or whatever, and then the screen was blurred out. He's like, "Oh hi, I was playing a game."
tell.
Thanks to Time Magazine, you now know what it is.
You can tell what it was. I could tell what it was.
They showed a photo of it later on, and you can see how
Yeah.
concept it is. It's just ship, health bar, picture of character.
From what I hope about Star Fox, I hope that the concepts from Project Giant Robot and Project Guard are only loosely used. I want them to be used in multiplayer mode. I want Miyamoto to further those concepts and use them in a way to make families have fun and stuff like that. But when it comes to my Star Fox, just give me air combat, please.
Ditto. So we really know nothing at the moment. So hopefully they just follow through with that. And then you had one more for EA, right, Chris?
Yes, sir, and I think you're going to be just as hype as I am.
Uh-huh.
The very teaser. I'm going to make you wait. Hold on. I'm kidding. Mass
Look at him.
Effect. The new Mass Effect game.
Do you
Thank
see
you.
this deadpan look on my face?
Yes.
What?
I've never once played a Mass Effect game.
You're missing
Never.
out. On
I
Yeah,
know.
So,
I know.
They're
I
not
know.
even. They're even off of Xbox now. You don't have an excuse anymore.
I have both Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2 in my Steam queue waiting for me. Because
Yeah.
now that I have a decent PC, I may be able to pull it off. But that is a commitment that I am not yet ready to handle. But
Not that
eventually,
long.
Do you have a
I
PS3?
will get... Yes.
You get the trilogy set.
Yeah.
Wait.
I'd
what?
recommend that. Yes.
Mm.
Like forever ago.
Oh,
That.
don't you even I knew that to me.
Let's put it on a
We'll
moment.
fight.
No more fighting. As a matter of fact, here's what we're gonna do. We have another 5-6 pages of outline. This is completely ridiculous. So we're gonna jump straight into the thing that we can't avoid: our picks for who won E3, and then we're gonna wrap this whole big bad boy up.
Oh
That
yeah.
works for me.
So.
Oh yeah.
I'm at the top of the list because I put my name first and everything, and I wrote the outline. So
Cheater.
I'm gonna give a second place first, and I'm gonna say Sony because their conference is really great. Most of the showings that they had were pre-rendered CGI, so it was just kind of like they were selling hype, not games. But
Right.
I liked hype, and that was really cool. And then the PlayStation TV, we were finally getting that, made me excited because I'm like, I can play Vita games without buying a Vita, so that makes me happy. I'm sorry, it's a nice piece of hardware, but I just don't. I'm just not a handheld guy
I
anymore.
love you.
I'm gonna say first place is Nintendo for all of the massive amount of games that they showed. Their super great coverage of having their Nintendo Treehouse thing just do things the entire time the floor was open, having devs come in and talk about their stuff, playing the games. We got an hour and a half of Xenoblade gameplay when we were just the day before, like, man, I really wish we could know more about that game. They're like, here, we're gonna play through giant sections of the game.
Even though we still don't know like anything about it.
Well, we know that there's an awesome character creator and all this other fun stuff, and it's a single-player game with story mode, so that makes me happy.
Nice.
And they actually showed games, not just CGI teaser trailers. So Sony was good because it sold hype. Nintendo was great because it showed games, and that was their thing. And they surprised and delighted. So that's my picks. Chris, I've got you next.
Ooh, I gotta agree with you. I will say I do want to put a two-way tie for Sony and Microsoft for the second place. Because I think Microsoft had a lot of pressure on them. They said games, 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 and they actually brought it.
They did.
They didn't devote any time to anything else but games, and that was super awesome to see. The games themselves, exclusive IPs, you know, they're doing obviously Scalebound, they're doing Ori and the Blind Forest. It was nice. It was super nice. And then Sony did a good job. I think they did a really good job. The things that they did show were amazing. But they did slow it down with that whole, we're gonna do TV now, we're gonna do movies, and I think.
What was the name of that damn show?
Powers.
Powers. They could have done without that.
I am hype about that because Brian Michael Bendis is one of my favorite.
Yes, but you could have been hype about it in about 5 minutes, and we could have seen a few trailers, for The Last Guardian. Cough. Yeah. Cough.
Yeah. But so that sort of brought them down as a whole. So I'll say both of them kind of are on equal ground for me. So that's cool. But of course, clear winner, Nintendo. I think, like Randy said, covering the Treehouse, live at E3 all 3 days was amazing. The actual direct itself was great. A lot of people, especially people who go to E3, complain, and I see it all the time on Twitter. There's something missing. You can't be there while you watch it in person, and not everyone can. So the E3 Directs are very fair to do because everyone gets to feel like they're a part of the conversation. And on top of that, they did have something in person. If you stuck around the Treehouse Live area, you could watch it in person, which I actually watched part of the Xenoblade thing.
So did I.
Live in person. Yeah, I saw you actually. I was about to go say hi, but you took off.
I have things to do.
Yeah. No, I was over there by Kate. I was there by her. I was talking to her the whole time.
Oh. Well,
yeah, she was there.
Talking about people being at E3 and barely missing each other. We didn't even get into Project Steam and all that mess, or Codename Steam and all that mess.
We could talk about that later. I'm sure.
There are more shows. There's plenty more opportunities for us all to get together.
For sure. So, Jared, we got to hear. What were your picks?
What?
What was your pick for who won E3?
Jared's out of fuel.
Okay.
He's crashing.
Sony came in. I'm narrowing it down to the big three here. Okay. Sony was number 3 for me because they got really boring, and they didn't. I mean, they had some cool stuff. I did not really bring up the Order 1886, but I really think that what they showed of that, like on the stage, was really kind of dumb and boring. But what they showed afterwards, they extended the gameplay demo that was uploaded before E3, and they got to see more of like their demo continue, which was really neat. And so that was cool. But like, so Sony, whatever. I'm gonna buy their console like later. Xbox like impressed me with their pacing. They had like really excellent pacing, and I had just had fun watching it, I guess. So they're number 2. Number 1 was Nintendo, mainly because of Treehouse being like, hey, we're gonna stream, and we're gonna do this pretty well, and we're gonna have people like showing a Captain Toad game, which is really cool.
Dude,
and they had
Toad.
Each time that they would stream a game, they tried to show like new content. They try to show like, oh, we showed you this level before, we'll show it to you again, but we're also going to show you this new level you haven't seen before. And they showed like, gameplay, and from what I heard, at one time or a couple times, Nintendo's Twitch stream for Treehouse had more viewers than the official Twitch stream for E3.
Ooh.
I heard.
That doesn't surprise me.
Well, it should. So basically, they I think they killed it with their content delivery. They really catered to their Nintendo Digital Event Direct thing was like pretty well done. The way it opened was great, and I felt really good. Overall, like I say, they went A3. We already talked about like my picks of like Game of Show, but like No Man's Sky. I'm still kind of excited for Witcher 3, even though like I don't think I have anything that can play that game right now. I'll never forget like the gameplay demo that we saw at E3 last year. Like, what they showed more is absolutely incredibly impressive. And basically, I guess that's it. You know, Nintendo surprised me with. Actually, I never actually even said this on Twitter or anything. I felt like they solidified with me that like buying the Wii U is actually a decent decision. Because now, like, I don't really have games that I'm going to be buying on PS3 anymore. I have not adopted into PS4 or Xbox One, and so I'm going to stick with Wii U. And I actually feel good about it, that there's, like, a steady stream of games every month or two, or whatever, that are going to come out, more so than, like,
Jared's excited for Pushmo World or whatever.
No, I'm not. No, whatever. Bad feelings, nostalgia, etc. 3DS data transfer failed. I've lost all my progress. But I really, no, it's more like Hyrule Warriors, Smash, Yoshi whatever,
Yoshi
X,
whatever,
Xenoblade Chronicles thing, and then like Zelda, and maybe Splatoon.
Maybe.
Mario Kart is like fun when I actually play it, so like all of these games have solidified me into like having more confidence, because for a while, like, yeah, I checked, there was like a 4 or 5 month gap that I didn't touch that Wii U because it just didn't feel like it. But now it's set up. You see that over there, yeah, that thing. I can't do this.
I guess I do.
Yeah, it's right next to the PS Trip, so it's got its place again.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, John.
All right, I'm last but not least. I'll keep it short. This is just summarizing my E3 2014 experience.
Yeah, so spit it out already.
Short for John is like
I will.
2 minutes.
I will. E3 2014 was the best week of my life, or one of them, because every single company there absolutely killed it for bringing something new to the table. EA brought concepts. Microsoft brought games. Sony brought some surprises. But Nintendo, golly, like, just everything about that entire digital event, with the humor and the quips and just appealing directly to the fans, like, where's Star Fox? Where's Mother 3? Stuff like that. Like, just from the get-go, the momentum that Nintendo just stole away from everybody else and just ran with it for that entire week, it's kind of ridiculous. But for what it's worth, I am no longer a part of Operation Rainfall, but I did write about over 19 games. Like, you guys should all take a visit to that site and just look at just everything I experienced that week, because I worked until I dropped. There were just so many great games there, and I've never, ever been more excited to be a gamer right now, because, dude, these are some great times, and some great titles are coming our way from every single company. They're all bringing it. It's crazy. And I guess that's that.
Nice.
I have a message. Nintendo, if you're listening, buy this podcast. Apparently, we all love you.
Exactly. Provide us with games, and we will just throw everything out there. Be like, yeah, everybody should buy these right now because they are so
Money
amazing.
in the bank.
Exactly. So,
I'd rather be bought by indies. Wink.
Yeah. So we're gonna close this out, this whole show. So you know what? We've got a feedback email because I made that while we were doing the show.
Woo!
You can email us. At least this is what it is currently. Feedback.bcpodcast@gmail.com. You can throw stuff there. Let us know what you thought of the show, improvements, things like that, things that you'd like to see in the future. We don't have any rules right now, so whatever we want to talk about, we can talk about. So we will make it fun. You can also follow us individually on Twitter in the meantime while you're waiting in between shows. You can hear all the dumb stuff we have to spew out. You can check me out at Saber_Breaker.
I am at Radical Defect.
I am at Syhowski J.
And I am at Wildcard Corsair.
Awesome. So
Nice.
we will be catching you guys here again soon. I think we were talking about doing this weekly, so we will make sure to keep your eyes peeled to us on Twitter and stuff, and we will get out all the information and where you can find us and when you can find us next time. So again,
Start working on like getting us on iTunes and stuff like that, so people
right.
can subscribe to the audio side. We will like get a huge backwards compatible podcast Twitter. Like these are things that we need time to do because this is all very much a very tentative, very alive idea.
Mm-hmm.
We will get ourselves together soon. I almost consider this more episode 0 than episode 1 because of all the technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Right. So again, super sorry about that because that was totally my bad. But thank you guys so much for coming, and we will see you again soon. Say goodbye, everybody.
We are all
Goodbye,
alive,
everybody.
and well.
Goodbye.